Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how you would respond to that. Let's say focused around the Eucharist or something like that, or just worship per se.
I hadn't really thought about that. I would say that the best answer I can give right now would be that worship is a part of our mission, I guess. But that I'm really, I don't know, I'm really skeptical of approaches that try to reduce that down to just one thing. To say, you know, because like the heavy new Calvinism that we have, that's what they try to do. They try to reduce everything down to worship. You know, it's all for we're just proclaiming God's glory. And I'm talking about here John Piper, Mark Driscoll, and that particular group, and that's what they do. And I'm very leery of just reducing it all down. I mean, it is all for God's glory, but you know, there's so much more to mission than just worship. I think it's constitutive of a lot of things that are interrelated. So I don't know if I'm answering your question well or not.
Okay, last question.
I think you did a good job, Russell, of distinguishing Grenz and actually combining Grenz and Van Hooser's ideas into an understanding of participation. The fittest, so I've got a couple of comments and then a suggestion.
Okay.
The fittest relationship is interesting because I've talked to Fittest about Grenz, and he thinks their difference in understanding Trinity is one of instrumentality, not really one of essential differences, but just different perspectives maybe. But he didn't disagree with him, so I think that's good, and I appreciate the distinctions he made there too. I think that this would have benefited probably from maybe some of the contemporary missiologists, and I know that Newbegin is not, well, he's fairly contemporary, Newbegin and Bosch, and how they construe Missio Dei. And there's a fellow, a Catholic, and I can't remember his name, who's published with Orbis, I think on something on kind of constructing, it's not constructing local theology, it's something similar to that. And he talks about how praxis comes before theology, period. You know, so, which I fight with my colleagues about all the time. But I would say they're concomitant, right, in that sense. So I'm wondering if this is a great start, but maybe the contemporary missiology will help actually define out those things some more. So just
yeah, well, actually, the impetus is I follow the missional conversation, as it's called, and it continually frustrates me because I think it would benefit greatly from not only narrative theology, but also an infusion of Trinitarian theology. Because, I mean, what other mission are we supposed to be about than the Trinitarian mission? And I think that relates back to, I think that, you know, in the modern period, the Trinity was sort of just disappeared, you know, became a footnote for Schleiermacher. And, you know, and that I think that now the church is trying to recover that. And even now, even now, I mean, we go to a really great church that's open to talking about theology, but still, whenever you bring up the Trinity, everybody kind of looks at you like, what? What are you talking about? You know, and so, you know, I kind of think that the vibrancy of the early church, I kind of think came from its Trinitarian grounding. I mean, they had to fight so hard for it. And I think that informed their mission. And I think that for us, if we're going to recover our mission, well, that's the mission of God, which is Trinitarian to me. So, yeah, that's.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for coming for questions. And